How's it going, everyone? ScaredieCat Vasquez. It is finally the day that you have all been waiting for. Well, at least I have been waiting for. This is it. This is the very first episode, the very first footstep, the very beginning of Haunt Talks, the official podcast, the official series that is going to be on this channel. You want scary shit talked about for hours? This is the place you go to. You got a business you want to promote that has to do with Halloween or anything spooky like that, gothic, whatever the fuck, you come over here and we will promote the fuck out of you. We are here. I am here with the gracious presence of my good friend Angel Lem.
What's up, everybody?
There we go. You recognize that intro from Let Me Know podcast. You hear it on SoundCloud. You download it on iTunes.
And I'm on Spotify now, so don't forget about that.
And Spotify now. Look at that.
That was a big one. Now it took me a while, but finally got it.
I'm so happy for you, man. So now my R. Kelly remix page, I can now listen to YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
That's amazing. How you been, man? I haven't seen you in so long.
I'm good. Just working on the podcast. Working on my personal life, trying to get a new job.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
It's really hard.
It's good. I mean, I'm happy. Thank you for letting me be one of your first guests. I guess you're your co-host.
Exactly.
You know,
well,
appreciate it.
We actually did a podcast a long time ago. You remember that time on my small-ass couch?
We've done 4 different podcasts.
Exactly.
Because every time you come on, for some reason, my something gives up.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like some bad vibe I give off to technology.
Okay, the first one was the cables.
Yeah.
Because where we had it hooked up, I said there was something with the cables. So that's what happened. And the second time I recorded, I went to your house. And the first, I accidentally, you were into music then.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, can I play a song? I was like, yeah, for sure. And then we waited all the way to the end. And then I didn't know that my computer saves the file on its own. Mm-hmm. So when I went to go record, I thought that it recorded over everything I had recorded.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's
so,
what happened. Okay.
So we ended up recording a 4-hour episode, which was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You know, pretty interesting. But I had fun. I always have fun when I'm around you.
That is so sweet. Not even my girlfriend says that.
Yeah,
4 years and I've never heard those words out of her mouth.
So maybe because I really don't see that often.
That's probably why. And you never had my dick in you, so that could be a plus. That could be a plus. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, man. I never really asked you this before. Are you a big Halloween fan?
You've asked. Actually, I mentioned it on the episode I did with you. I'm not.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. I have asked that. It's been so long. And
that's cool, man.
So yeah,
I get it.
You just never got exposed to it, or what was the thing? You just never got it. I don't want to dress up.
I really never got the point of paying to get scared or
Okay.
And to me, scary movies, or horror movies, they're really. I know they're fake, so I'm not really scared. I laugh at most of the stuff. It's funny to me.
I get you. So you would have to see some real shit, some of that rotten.com.
Probably. Well, I mean, even real shit. Sometimes my friends or something, they will show me stuff on YouTube and stuff. But
yeah,
I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. But
okay, definitely.
Real life murders and stuff.
Yeah, we should go on the dark web together and see who reacts the most. See if we can finally crack you and be like, oh shit,
I'm down.
And then we'll get SWAT teams kicking in our doors and stuff like that because it's highly illegal to go on there.
That exposure though, man.
Exactly, right?
Cool.
Illuminati, all that shit. I don't know. We'll do some Are you okay? I know we talked about conspiracy theories so far. I've been exposed to some stuff lately because I have a coworker who's really into them and stuff like that. All right, where do you stand on like Flat Earth and stuff like that? I'll take that. Oh shit! Oh, I wasn't expecting.
Nah, that's stupid. Of course it's not. Like, you can tell. Like you see the shape of it when you look up in the sky.
Yeah.
Wait. Do you think it's flat?
No, I have I just like asking people just to see where they stand and how they react. I did that I went to a business meeting yesterday after my other job, and where they were talking about like space and stuff like that, like space movies and stuff like that. So I was saying all right, you guys are into like space. I don't know the right word for it. What's the word?
I don't know.
Astronaut shit. I don't know. They're into astronaut
space.
I don't know, something like that.
That's smart.
Neither am I. So I asked him all right, flat Earth or round Earth, and they all just got up and left. They just and like they were laughing. They're like, "You need to get the fuck out." And I was like, "Oh shit."
You got a new job because last time I spoke to you, you're working at a bike spot.
I still work there. I still work at that bike shop. I love that place. I love selling bikes to old timers and the young peoples as well. And it's just fun. I get to work with like things I love, like using. I ride a bike like whenever I have free time and stuff like that. If I'm not shooting a video or at work, I'm either fucking gaming it or I'm like riding over to the beach for a little bit and then coming right back. You know, it's really fun. I collect like a lot of old vintage bikes back in the day, so that's kind of where it's at. What about you? Are you like do anything?
I play sport. I play soccer. I like skateboarding.
There we go. Can you do any tricks?
I used to, not anymore. Like I stopped like skating for like tricks a while. Now I just skate to ride like on the beach and stuff. Like,
nice.
I used to be able to like kickflip, ollie. Like, you know.
And last time we talked, you were living in like more in Wilmington, like deep part of
Wilmington. I was
Wilmington.
in Torrance.
In Torrance, that's where you're at. Okay, now you moved over here into
San Pedro now.
How you liking it?
It's cool. I mean,
it has its moments.
I mean, I work graveyard, so all I do is sleep. And I mean, it's a good spot to record my podcast. It's like really quiet and the landlord trips, but not my neighbors. So.
That's cool.
That's about it.
So you're gonna come knocking at any time point right now?
No, they're cool. I mean, like over there, like I have to deal. Like my girl, like she was living with her sister, and the problem was her sister. Like I had to be very conscious. I had to be quiet, and here I could be as loud as I want.
That's good. So we start screaming for some reason. That's all good.
Yeah, it's part of the show. Like we're
part of the show.
A horror movie. Like, oh, why is it like that? Looks like real blood.
Nah, ketchup
and whatever. Don't just go to the next show. Mind your business.
Mind your business. If you tell anyone, I'll kill you. I mean, what not?
I'm just playing. But if you do, like I suggest people will not open.
There we go. That's gangster shit right there, man. It's really hard. Like, okay, I don't know if you feel the same way like I do. Like being Mexican, I'm not that thuggish. Do you feel like the same way too? It's like
I feel like the way I speak, it could come out as thuggish.
Yeah.
Like I swear a lot. Like I'm not able to speak clearly. So
okay, I get you.
Like I get mistaken a lot for a white boy, but then I put my
really
mouth, and like like a lot of people think I'm white. Like a lot.
I would not assume that. I would assume that you'd selling tamales somewhere. Like
because you've heard me speak. That's why. Like, once I start talking, and you can tell I'm Mexican. Like my accent or whatever. I don't even know how to have an accent. Like to me, I speak like Morgan Freeman, but you know, they tell me I have an accent. I was like, really? Like I speak clearly, bro. And I say, bro, like you're good. You're good. I'm like, you might be right.
No, I have a problem with that. It's like I'll be like the quiet one in the group, and then be like, "Hey, say, like, how come you don't talk much?" I'm like, "Oh my god, because I'm just like so shy. That's why." And I get kicked out of the gang forever. It's like I can never hang with my own people. It's sad.
Yeah.
But luckily,
I don't like people, so
I know, right?
They kick me out. It's good. I'll come home and sleep.
Exactly.
I think I'm depressed. Like I sleep too much. For real.
You find out that your dreams are a lot better than your real life and shit like that. Yeah. Same. Like, oh my god. Well, what time did you wake up today? Like, since you work graveyard, what's like the normal time you wake up?
2:00.
In the afternoon?
No, the morning.
I meant like after. Like
I was sleeping till I come till 8:00 at night, and then I go.
Oh shit! Okay, so you're not the type that like once you get off of work, you go right back to sleep.
No, well, because of the podcast, like I usually try I'm just gonna speak for myself. Like if I go to sleep then and I keep going to sleep right after work, then my body's gonna get used to that, and then I'm gonna tend to get sleepy, because my body's gonna get used to like going to sleep at a certain time. So if I don't want my body to get used to that, so I just rather stay up the whole day. Like, and I have a bunch of errands to run. I do the podcast. I help my mom.
Oh, okay.
Grocery shopping. Like sometimes I just want to watch TV. You know.
Yeah, I get you. That's cool, man.
Novelas.
Nice. Do you watch Rose de Guadalupe?
Not anymore.
I started ever since I started going to my girlfriend's house. That's all we watch now with her mom, and it's like I don't understand it, but I can just tell like, oh, this is some juicy fucking cheese, man, whatever.
I mean, the show has the best channel. I mean, the best programming.
Yeah, like fucking, like I don't know what they're saying, but I read subtitles. Like I don't like to read, but whenever they put that show on, I'll fucking read the hell out of it.
You're not even reading Spanish?
No, it's English subtitles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I wish I spoke Spanish because like my lady's mom only speaks Spanish, so it's like trying to talk to her is hard. And the first words my brother was trying to teach me, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna meet your mom." Like, say, I forgot what it was, but it was like basically in English, it was translated to, "I do dirty things to your daughter." That was horrible, and I almost said it. I was just like, "Oh yeah," and then I told her, and then she's like, "Don't fucking say that. Don't you ever fucking say that shit."
Should we address to like the people like watching us and listening to us that she's in the room?
Oh yeah, she's in the room. It's not just some like doll that I have hanging around. She's actually behind the camera. She's a lovely camera person. Most of you people who are watching have met her at the Spook Show. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's what she does. She just follows me around while I make an ass of myself.
The episode, like the last one you put out, the one about the Spook Show, that was the first time I've ever heard her speak.
Really?
Yeah, like I've never heard her speak before.
Yeah, no, she's really quiet. She was really quiet. Then 4 years of dating me, she's really speaking her mind.
I mean, you have to compete. I have to compete and like to get a word in. Like I imagine what she has to do just so that she can like get her opinion out there.
It's not even about opinion. It's just she just like now is like not afraid to like not afraid, but like
mind.
Like now she just like really needs to understand that she needs to yell back at me to get me to stop yelling. Because if we're in the car and I'm like telling her a story about like my cousin Ted, it's like, "Hey, you need to stop yelling. Like I'm right here." And it's like, "I'm sorry. I'm just excited to tell you the story that happened when I was 8. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm just an excited person."
Did she ever tell you like you got that out of the movie Ted? Like she never found out.
No.
So she thinks it's a real person.
There's a real person named Ted in my family. That's what she thinks. I'm just kidding. It's not the teddy bear that I made friends with in high school because no one else would hang out with me.
You can, like maybe make up a story and say you're like, what's his name, John? Like you're John, and Ted is your childhood friend.
Exactly. Exactly, man. All right, so have you been doing stand-up lately? Like I know a lot of people don't know this, but we used to do stand-up together. We used to go to the same spots. Have you been doing that lately?
No, I don't really feel funny anymore.
You don't feel funny?
No, not lately. To tell you the truth, like I know if I go and I tell them, like the last time I performed was December. I did this show for one of my guests. Mm-hmm. She threw an event and she let me do a set. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to do 10. I ended up doing like half an hour, like 45.
Fuck yeah!
And then like I have 15 to 20 solid minutes, like cool, like funny stuff. And then I told the lady, "Is it cool if I just like keep going?" And she's like, "Go ahead," because 3 people canceled. They didn't showing up, so like she's like,
fill in.
So if you want to kill time, you can. I'm like, cool. So I just I was just telling jokes. Like I would tell my girl or my like coworkers, and like some of them I was surprised got a couple laughs. I ate shit on a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie, but it was a good event. Like ever since, but after that, I haven't came up with anything new. So like I don't really feel like funny. I think I need to force myself. I need to go and like just do a set. So because I like the last joke I came up with, I said on my show, like imagine being such a football fan that you don't have a cell phone just because you don't want to support the Chargers.
Like, I get it. It's like a play on words.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was what.
That's like a dad joke right there.
Yeah. But I feel like it needs more to be a real joke.
Yeah.
It needs like that's just the setup. It needs more like
a little bit more build up to that punchline.
Yeah. You know, either build it up or like say something after. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like that's just the setup. Like that's a joke, but then it still needs more. Like so I can hit like and then get something that's actually funny. Because like you said, it's a dad joke. Mm-hmm. So the people laugh because it's stupid, not because it's funny.
Well, yeah, that's what like a lot of people are liking now. Like dad is like a new thing. They have like dad hats. They have they sell like they'll be like dad AF and shit like that. So you can be like the dad in the comic world. There probably is one already, but you can compete with that fucker.
But like to see like my jokes, like the new stuff that I have is more like thuggish. Yeah, like hood.
Okay.
Like I have one about like.
Do you hate it when the Lotte man fucking comes around?
Like murder and stuff like that.
Oh shit! Okay, that's scary. Okay.
Like raise your hand. Like who's here? Like who has that friend? Like whoever's seen their friend surrounded by 5 guys with guns to his head. Like, so it's just me.
That's just confessing those sad stories. Oh my god!
Yeah, pretty much. And then I go like yeah, like so it's just me. So you tell me I should get better friends. Like all right.
There we go.
And I go on a story about like yeah. So yeah, so I know you're probably telling me right now, like, shut up and tell you what happened. Like, don't worry about it. He died.
That's
Like,
man, just ignore it.
yeah, like he died. I mean, what the fuck do you expect? Like, he was surrounded like with 5 guys to gut to his head. Of course, like you don't walk away from you don't walk away from that. You know?
You can probably talk yourself out of one guy, but 5 of them, it's like I don't know.
Yeah. So you know what, like he had it myself. When I fell, he would want me to have it. So of course, you know, I had to search his pockets, but you know, I had to have it. No, but you're like, oh man, you're a dick. Like, why don't you rob somebody? Like, nah, don't worry about it. I give it to his mom. I sold it to her first. You know, like, of course, like, I mean, you gotta take the opportunity, right?
You gotta make money.
Yeah, but you know, before we go, like, I just wanna give a toast to the homie Twister. Like, his name was really John, but like, nobody called him Twister.
Yeah.
And the reason why I called him Twister is because how he looked after he died. Like his head, like his foot was by his head.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
that's horrible.
That's my joke.
It would work somewhere, like honestly, like
it worked there.
Oh shit, really?
If you're fucked up, I'm sure it worked.
Oh yeah, if you go to like those I find that like if you do an open mic at a coffee shop, your dirty jokes aren't probably gonna do too well. But if you do like an open mic at a bar where everyone's been drinking, fucking people will laugh. I did a joke about cutting myself. And everyone was fucking dying. It was my last video where as soon as I said and start cutting yourself, fucking people were fucking dying and laughing and shit like that. And anything that had to do with like oral sex or crack, that was the shit that was working. And oh my god, I was just this shit bombs all the time at the library, or at any other coffee shop. I went to this one place. It was really family owned, and they were just they were not having it. They were not. I got booed. Yeah, because they're just all oh, boo, that's inappropriate. And I was just all all right.
Have you ever bombed on purpose?
No.
I have. Right?
Really? Tell me about that.
I guess I feel like I'm that good.
That egotistical shit?
I mean, because I knew my stuff worked, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to tell it as fast as I could.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but another reason why I haven't performed is I don't like the feeling before going up.
Yeah.
You're
like that rush?
I don't want to...
She's heard worse.
I feel like my dick's in my throat. You know, if I have an innie, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I hate that feeling. Like on my last show, I was shadow boxing, fucking hitting myself in the dick just so I could come out.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's the truth though.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate that feeling for real. It's I think that's what I'm I think really that's the reason. I don't feel funny and that part which. Mm-hmm. I hate that part.
I get you, man. I get you. You know, it's a real roller coaster having to go upstage and everything like that. And all the people who've done any sort of performing live in front of people, especially if you're basically a nobody. You have no title to your name. You don't have an album that just came out. People don't fucking listen to you at all. People won't even listen to you on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. And you go up in front of a bunch of people who were not paid, but they sat here. And now they're expecting entertainment, and they're fuck, I gotta be the entertainment now. It's really fucking scary.
Yeah, I think it's knowing that you're going up alone.
Yeah, that's what's hard about us as comics. It's because if you go up on stage with a guitar, you have a guitar with you.
Yeah.
If you suck at singing, you could just tune it out with your good guitar playing. Mm-hmm. Or if you suck at guitar, you just tune it out with your good singing. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's when you're a comic, if you suck telling jokes, I guess you could start juggling. I don't know what the fuck are you gonna do else. You know what I mean?
Well, I've tried. Have you ever tried doing what's it called? When you pick on people, not roasting. But
crowd work.
Yeah, have you ever tried that?
I did, and one place, my lady who took me there one time because I was too drunk to drive. We went to Still Beach. It was this coffee shop, and the guy there, he let me know oh, you're a comic. And I was like, yeah. He's well, we really don't allow comics here, so. But we'll allow you since you came all the way and stuff like that. I was it's not even that far, but all right. And he was saying oh, just no profanity. That's all he said. Just no profanity. I was okay, cool. I can do that.
Is that half of your set?
Yeah, that took out half of my set, but I was feeling confident that night because of the alcohol, and I was just all right, let's fucking do this. And I went up on stage and I was just let's just do crowd work. I can make something funny. And I was hey, sir, what do you do for a living? And this is 2 minutes in. I did some clean jokes, and then I started the crowd work, and then the guy was just all he cut my mic off. He's no crowd work.
Wow.
And I was just what? And he was just no crowd work. And I was okay, you should have told me that earlier. He's oh, I didn't think you would do that and stuff like that. We've had a comic come up here do crowd work, and he was just making fun of everyone. And I was just
Well, that's pretty much what crowd work is.
It's like you guys gotta learn to laugh at yourself. Stop being so sensitive. Like most of the fucking like musicians and poets, they're all so fucking sensitive. As soon as you make any sort of criticism at them, it's like, oh, you don't understand my art. No, bitch, I just want to make you laugh. All right, maybe like you don't understand my art if you don't fucking laugh. How about that? Like, I don't know, like some weird shit like that. But like, yeah, I don't go back. I went back there once just to play some songs, like actual songs and shit like that. So that was pretty cool. And other than that, it was I just don't go back there. I go back there for the coffee because it's really good.
Are you still doing music?
No, I stopped that. The last band I was in, we just never got together. And like they kept saying like no, it wasn't the folk band. I was actually going back into a metal band.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna practice this weekend, and then like, oh, I can't this weekend. Like right on Friday, it's like we have practice on Saturday. On Friday, like, hey guys, I can't do it. So like, we gotta cancel. 3 weeks of that shit. I just told them, hey, let's not waste any more of our time.
Yeah.
It's just I'm out, and everyone's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Do you serenade your girl?
No, well, sometimes in the car, but like it's like
death metal.
It's not even like good singing. I purposely don't sing in tune just to like
you do screamo?
No, I tried that and that shit throws out my voice. Like for like 2 weeks, I was not able to talk. And being a salesman, that's like most of my job. So it's like really hard having to go up to them. It's like, would you guys like to buy a mic? And it's like everyone thinks you're like contagious, and it's like
you could take like pretend like something that buzzes and put it
the fuck. It's just like, no, I'm not contagious. I just have a really bad habit that's not going to kill me. It's like it's not that. Oh my god. But yeah, no, I haven't done music. What about you, man? You sing? Do you sing to your lady?
She wants me to make her a song.
Can you sing for us right now? No. It's so cool. Okay, yeah. Wait, what?
You sing.
Me sing? No, I'm not gonna sing. No. This is not the place. This is all about him today. No, okay, you were saying?
Well,
she wants you to sing?
Sing to me.
I just sing to you.
No, she wants me to actually like make her like she wants to sing, but she wants me to make the beats and do all that stuff.
No, you guys can be like,
no, I'm not gonna do all that.
You be like the White Stripes, like you guys are together, but just say that your brother or sister or something like that. It's weird little hoax or some shit like that. Hell yeah, it'll be weird though.
No, I'm not that good. You know,
or like
I'm good at making fun of songs, but that's about. Actually, she wants me to make a parody about a song, like a 21 Savage song.
Oh my god!
So she heard this parody song, like something about my beard.
Yeah,
not my beard. Like the song is about like this guy's beard, like how having a beard makes you like more of a man or something like that.
Hey man,
say, why don't you do something like that? And I'm like, I don't want to, first of all, but it's like so now like. She keeps telling me to do that, so I might do that. That'll be my next thing, but I'm more focused on my podcast.
I get you, man. Your podcast has been doing really good. Let's get on that topic right now.
Let's talk
about your podcast, man. I've been listening to you ever since you
had you on.
You had me on, mostly because I was like, I'm gonna listen to myself for a while. But no, and I started following you. I started listening to all the other stuff you were doing. I was like, dude, this is fucking dope. And I love that what you do is like most of your guests are from the city that you were born and raised in.
No, I wasn't born.
Not born, but yeah, I forgot.
I was born in Long Beach, raised in Mexico, then came back, and then for most of my teen years after, I was raised in Wilmington.
Okay. I thought you were born in Mexico. My fault.
Nah. Well, I mean,
kind
of, but not. I was.
You were halfway out when they crossed the border. And then okay, there we go.
My mom she launched like a cannon to this side.
There
of the
we
border,
go.
And my dad caught me, and then he funded me to the other side. You know?
Did the little touchdown dance and everything.
Yeah, and even that's that explains the dent in the back of my head. So.
There we go. Gotta love parents. This video is brought to you by Abusing Children. Make sure you do it. We support it. Anyways.
Okay, I don't know about that, but I hate them, but don't abuse them.
Anyways, before we get too controversial,
let's talk about your tattoos.
My tattoos. No, this is not that interesting.
Why?
Story. Actually, no, I will. New? This one is new. Yeah, it says "Love It to Death." It's an Alice Cooper themed tattoo. It's a lady pinup girl, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's it. Maybe you guys want to get in closer to your phone screen. It's a little pinup tattoo, and like a traditional one, and. Yeah, my homie Josh did it. He works over at Long Beach and Ink Assassins. That's right near the 710 freeway on PCH. Make sure you go there and let him know who sent you. Say Justin, because I don't think he knows my YouTuber name. he laughed at my when I exchanged Instagrams with him. He's like, dude, let me follow you on Instagram. I was like, all right, ScaredieCat Vasquez. He's just like, the fuck? Like, all right. Everyone, even at work, they'd be like, hey, let me add you on Instagram. I tell them, they're like, okay. And I'm like, why? And I was just like at first, I wasn't telling people at work what I was doing because I was like, I don't want them to see it and then be like, oh, that's inappropriate. You need to stop. But now it's like they don't give a shit. It's like I tell them and they're like, why? Like, what? Like, they don't understand the love I have for haunts, and they don't understand that like a lot of other people out there really do care for that shit.
Yeah.
Like I've been like meeting a lot of people about that. Anyways, we're getting off topic right now. Let's get back to your podcast. You are the guest, my friend.
We're on topic. We're talking about your tattoo and your love. I mean, that it's the love of horror and haunts. It has to do with the tattoo. And
there we go. Yeah.
But let's talk about me. You're right.
Let's go back to your podcast. Like I said, you've really been like evolving better and everything like that. I feel like I don't know how to.
I can't help but take that as a little bit of a backhand compliment.
No, but it's like
I understand, but like you've been getting better, so you're telling me I suck before.
No, we all started somewhere, and it's like boom, like now you're like now you sound like really fucking professional. Like you're basically I listen to you along with like Bill Burr and Joe Rogan's podcast, so it's like you're in that mix of like a daily thing I listen to.
Cool, thanks.
So it's like that's why like I feel like really awesome. Like having you here as the first guest, technically, the guy we're gonna be calling Chris, he's our first guest, but you are the first guest. You're the first one.
Guest / host.
Exactly. You're the first one to enter. Chris is the second one to enter. You're the last to leave.
To make him special, let's say he's the first.
Let's say he's the first, so that way he won't be all like, "Fuck this guy." I hope he dies 1,000 deaths. You know what I mean?
But he'll at least write the music for you. So.
Exactly. He'll make a good song to me dying. It's just I don't know. Anyways, but as I was saying, man, like okay, where did all this come from, man? I remember you were saying like how long ago was it? That you were like constantly like looking for guests and stuff like that. And I'm like, how hard is it to find a guest for you?
In the beginning, it was hard because of the name. Because I used to have another podcast called Dick in the Box.
That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I think that's where I had you first.
Okay.
Dick in the Box.
Okay.
And that one was supposed to be my homie, but unfortunately, we had to split ways because he was more focused on his music, and like this was really my thing, not really his. He was just helping me out, so he's like, you know what, like he felt that I could do it on my own, so he's like, well, you know what, like I think you're ready, so I'm just gonna do my thing, you do your thing. But we're still cool. I actually had him on the episode, so like there was no hate and nothing like that.
That's good. You guys broke up on good terms, basically.
Yeah, and so that was the hard part. Like after that, I already had like people knew I was doing podcasting a little bit because of that podcast. So it was a little easier when I started this one, but it was pretty hard getting people to come on, and because I mean you have to take a risk on the guy that I'm honest. I said like I learned this on my own. Like everything's on my own. Like I've never done anything like this. I had never done it by myself. But you know, luckily people were like, have faith in me. You have faith in me, like a couple of times to come on. So it's just people trusting in me, and like I appreciate the compliment. You telling me that I've been progressing. That like I hope I am. You know,
you are, dude. You are.
Like, and I hope like we could tell that with the episodes that like at least there's a little progression. You know, like I'm improving the way I edit, the way I ask my questions. I go about it a different way. Like before, like I had no clue, and just I kept doing it, like all that practice just added like some more experience.
That's good, man. That's really good. I do love your little quizzes. I try to keep up with them, but I end up forgetting stuff to go back to it and stuff like that. Like, oh, like the answer to this quiz, I'll pause it and like, shit, what was the quiz again? And I'll have to go back and listen to it and stuff like that.
I stopped doing that. Actually, I stopped doing that. You're talking about the riddles, right?
The riddles, yeah, the riddles quizzes.
I stopped doing that like episode like I think after you. Would you rather? I think that's what you're talking about.
No, not that one.
The riddles, right?
Yeah, it's the riddles.
So the riddles were like for me, and I would give people stuff, right? So now I figure like people don't want to work for stuff; they want just free shit given to them. So I'll like now I do it easy. Just all you gotta do is repost something or answer a question related to one of my guests, and then like that makes it so you listen to my episodes, you know. And then for the most part, they're super easy. Like, why is it called Just Us? So if you hear the first like 10 minutes of it, the answer's right there. You know? So if I just want you to put an effort. You know, at least make some effort to it. And for the most part, the answer's on the description too. So
really, I don't read the descriptions like anything.
Well, if you go on Instagram, you know what I write.
Yeah,
I know it's super long.
Yeah,
but it just talks a little bit about the episode and the whole reason how we met or whatever. And a little backstory, if people even care. Like, I say it on the episode also, but it's just if you want a little preview of what you're gonna hear, you know.
I get you, man. That's really awesome, though, man. Fucking all right. Like, as your first time going into it, have you ever had like any bad experiences? Like anything like you don't have to give any names, or anything like that. But like, was there like a bad guest or anything?
It wasn't that she was bad. It was just that we were clashing. Like we were mixing well.
It was just kind of like one word answers and shit like that.
It was that we were both trying to be funny.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm not trying to do that anymore. Like with you, like right now I'm just trying to be myself. I'm not trying to compete with you because like I feel like once you put two comics together, like you're trying to be out funny each other. Yeah. And I think that's what was going on. Like we weren't really connecting or like you know. She's like I met her at the library.
Really?
Yeah. But like I mean, it was a good interview because she was talking about how she went through depression and she has like mental health issues that she was working with. So that was a good part. But then a lot of the feedback that I was getting was like, yeah, man, you could tell you were struggling through that episode. Like she was, I don't know.
She was just calling you out on all your shit.
Like, no, she was just like, I don't want to.
No, it's cool. It's good.
It's cool. It's dingy? No, not dingy, but like, I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't care. Like, don't give any names. No, I'm not gonna say names.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's pretty obvious if you go up to if you go and check. I mean, I've only had three comics.
See, this is the way we get people to listen to your videos. So I want you guys to listen to every video or every podcast he's done to find out who it is. Leave it in the comments. And it's like, it's just no, don't do it. It's horrible. But hey, at least you get views.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only reason why I was challenging. And I've had other ones where, I felt I was prepared, and then when I did the interview, I pretty much asked the same question over and over.
I get you, yeah.
And then, or sometimes what I don't do anymore is I would send the questions out to people so they could kind of see what I was going to ask them.
I remember that, yeah.
And they get ahead of themselves and they start asking all the questions before I could even ask them. So once you do that, it's not real natural. It's not real conversation. Yeah. So they were like, I would have nothing to say. So I was like, oh shit, I would just have to pull shit out of my ass. Like, okay, well, what about this? I saw this same thing.
I get it.
So now, but see, it all came with
doing it all came with experience and stuff like that. So. Yeah. Okay, some advice. And some of the viewers out there, too, who want to do podcasts. I know a lot of people who are thinking about doing podcasts out there, especially in the haunt world, too. Like, I'm not the only one that's going to be doing this.
Yeah.
And that's good. I always tell people, us in the haunt industries, hold on now, but something will go down, guys. Don't worry. This is not going to stop us. Fuck it. I need to invest in a better camera or some shit like that. But anyways... As a beginner podcast, ignore the technical difficulties that goes with the camera. What would you say out there to all the people who starting out?
Just do it. If you're thinking about doing a podcast, just do it. That's the best advice I can give you. I was there myself. I didn't know what I was doing. I contemplated whether I should have done it or not, and I just had to do it to find out. You're always gonna my thing is I'm always what if, and at some point you just gotta go ahead and do it, and if you fail, you fail. At least you found out if you were able to do it.
That's good.
And also, think about what you want to do, and plan it out. At least plan out 3 episodes so you can see if it's really something that you want to do. Because, for my podcast, it was first I was having people that did different jobs, and they started evolving to something new.
Yeah.
And that's great. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. Don't let people tell you how it should be done. My podcast is an hour plus. And people would always tell me oh, why is it so long? Well, for me, I can't get to know somebody in that 30, 45 minutes.
Exactly.
So I need a couple times. Even an hour is it's not long enough for me. But like I take in consideration that I mean I gotta respect people's time, you know, and so I have to be more like what's it called when you the questions? Like when you you're showing your questions.
I guess so. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I gotta constrict my questions, and I gotta be more I'm more specific with what I want to know. Because if I'm broad, then we're just gonna be talking forever. So if I go directly to what I want to know, what I think my listeners are gonna want to know from me, then it's I think it kind of builds the episode how I want it.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing out there. Like,
and record 3 episodes. Record 3. Like rules of 3 for comedy, the same thing for podcasting. Record 3 episodes because just don't release them. Don't release them until you have 3 because people are gonna cancel sometimes. And the one thing you want to do is miss a week.
Yeah.
Because you want to be consistent. So record 3 episodes before you release them. Make sure that they're exactly how you want them because it's nobody, like I mentioned earlier, don't let nobody tell you what you should do and you shouldn't do. Because this is your baby. You're the only person that decides what's going to go up and what's not going to go up. So when people are in your ear like, oh, you know what, I don't think you should do that. But it's the opposite of what you want. Then it's not really going to be your work. It's other people's work.
Okay. So
if you have 3 and then just in case you have to miss a week, at least you're not stressed out that you missed a week. Because or at least I have this episode, I still have saved up that I can put out this week. And I'll just gotta make it up, again, or something like that.
I get you. That's really good. The one thing, though, I do love about your podcast, something I was saying earlier, but we got off topic, is that I love that you're, in the city that you were raised in or kind of grew up in, basically, majority of your life in Wilmington. Every one of your guests, or majority of your guests, have been from there. Except for me, and then I believe some of the other people are on there too. I think who else was on there? Some dude. I don't know. I know it was me, and then 2 or 3 other people.
So I had the Kenora, South Central. I've had
that's them. Yeah.
Rasa, Reason. They're from South Central. See, the thing is, that's another problem I'm having right now. I'm focusing too much in Wilmington.
You want to branch out?
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy from Wilmington.
Okay.
I love Wilmington, and my goal is to get all that talent that's in Wilmington to put their work out there. But I don't want to just focus in Wilmington. So actually, I'm working on people. Somebody in Texas. I'm looking for somebody in New York and Florida.
Really?
So I'm in talks, kind of trying to have them on the podcast. But the problem is, I want my episode to be the same as the other ones. So I still haven't figured out how to do that. I was hoping to learn from you today because we're gonna have a call and that's what I have to do. I'm gonna have to call somebody.
Exactly.
So this is kind of helpful for me too to see if maybe this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my phone whatever we're gonna do today. I'm gonna try to do it for my work, and if it works, then I'm gonna keep doing that. If not, then I know it's not gonna work, and that's gonna.
That video I sent you, that's apparently one of the best ways to do it without a phone and without a laptop. And but just without a phone, basically. All you need is your laptop, and which is something that you're already using, So
but see, that's I gotta buy that. And,
I know all that stuff.
I have all this equipment. And I'd rather use my equipment than
that you already have. You gotta work with what you got.
I mean,
that was the reason why I'm kind of just sticking with the phone right now. It's I had a camera, but I broke it, and then I was just instead of buying a new camera, I bought a new phone because I fucking no offense to any Apple users out there, I just can't stand Apple. I can't stand the whole running out of data and everything like that. So I just went back to Android because I can do whatever the fuck I want on there, and it's I don't gotta worry about data that much. And
phones, they're pretty much the same quality as cameras.
Same quality. With most of my videos, all of my newer videos that have been coming out lately have been with my camera, and honestly, it's way better quality than I'm not with my camera. With my phone, it's way better than my camera, and it was fucking amazing.
So let me ask you something. So is this going to be the very, very first episode, or are you going to put one to address who you are, a kind of intro to who you are and what the podcast is?
Everyone who's already subscribed to me already knows who I am. I'm the one of the many people out there that are doing stuff about haunts. But I'm not doing it about my reaction and stuff like that. Or I'm not focusing it. I know it sounds weird because I'm saying I a lot right now, and I my name's in the channel and everything like that. but I'm just really trying to focus. Like the reason why I'm having Chris come up on here or calling him on here is because when we went to the spook show, I did it as just like, oh, like let's talk to people and stuff like that, like just to see like, oh, what's out there, and then like, yeah, we'll react to some of like the little mini haunts and stuff like that they had there. And as I was doing that, meeting all these people, I was like, dude, these people are fucking awesome, and they're working really hard. They're spending their hard-earned money on everything that they believe in and what they want to dream of doing. Like, let's get these people a platform. Like, you know, there's like, yeah, there's conventions out there, and yeah, there's Etsy and stuff like that. But let's give them something that's like, I'm not gonna charge these people to come up on here. It's like I'm not gonna like expect anything other than like just a shout out. Just be like, hey, dude, I was talking to ScaredieCat Vasquez. That was it. Just so that way, boom, like, you know, it helps me out a little bit, but it helps them out even more.
Yeah.
So that way, like, more viewers come and see everyone else in there. A viewer from, like, your viewers would now see Chris's music. And if they like it, boom, Chris has more fucking people who are, like, again, people should check him out, Melanie Macabre. We're promoting him a little bit too early, but we'll promote him more later on. But that's all it basically was. Like, all these people are fucking working hard. And me working 2 jobs and doing this on the sideline too, I know what it's like to like when you get some sort of like majority of them after the spook show, they message me like, hey, thank you so much. Like that really meant a lot to me. And I was just like, I know that feeling. Like when someone, like when John Schneiser, again, John, I'm so sorry if I can't pronounce your last name. It's this dude. He directed the movie, the documentary Haunters. The Art of the Scare. It's on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, check it out. And like when he talked to me, that was my moment of like, hey, oh, dude, that really meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? Because ever since I saw that documentary, I found out that there was a documentary being out there. Like I was like, dude, this guy's amazing. I really want to meet him, but I thought of him like as like those type of celebrities where like, oh, it's gonna be hard to meet him. Like I'm only gonna see him like at like a meet and greet or like a panel that he's doing, and that's it. But no, I walked up to him, and he automatically recognized the Haunter for Life shirt that I've been promoting out and shit like that, like on my Instagram. And then I was just like, dude, can I do an interview with you? Like, I'm sorry to bug you. And he's like, no, just fucking bug us. Like, it's okay. And like, he was the longest interview I had. He was so fucking humble, and he's fucking amazing. John, I love you so much if you're watching this. And Zombie Joe too. That guy. We didn't do an interview with him, but when we were watching his show, Monsters Come Out at Night, he talked to me and my girlfriend for like a good 30 minutes, and he gave us a hug, and he was like, you know, telling us that like, you know, weed is not a drug. He was saying some shit like that basically because he was like asking like, oh, do you guys like do any drugs? I was like, no. And he's like, I smoke weed. And he's like, that's not a drug. And, yeah. The dude's funny as hell. And, you know, I love that guy. He's such a fucking. He's like tall and kind of big, but he's like a gentle giant. Like he's fucking lovable as hell. I'm sorry, babe. Like if he wanted to, I'd leave you for him. Like I'm sorry. Like I know, right? I understand. Like just get him out of here. Just get him. Take him.
Well, you know, like you asked me a little bit like advice. Like
yeah,
like that's another advice. Just go ahead and ask.
Yeah,
ask people. Like that's what I did. You know, I just asked.
Like with the guy, the DJ. What was his name? DJ Wizard or something.
Oh yeah, Tony A.
Tony A?
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that? Like, how did you score that? Because that seems like, you just asked him, just like, hey, can I?
Well, I mean...
Because he's kind of like a celebrity, yeah.
I mean, he is,
yeah. I'm sorry, Tony.
Mario, actually, I interviewed Mario Baba. So in that game, because I interviewed Marlene. Nice. So Marlene, like, Mario was her teacher, her professor. So he came to me, like, Mario's like, hey, like, you're from Wilmington, I'm from Wilmington. Like, interview me. I was like, hell yeah, like, all right, I'm down. But I didn't know nothing about him. I started researching them. I was like, oh shit, like, you're legit. Like, he's had exhibitions in France, New York, Chicago, like, big exhibitions. Like, humongous, like, whole, like rooms dedicated just to his art. And to his, like, yeah.
Nice.
So, and then he's like, well, you know what, like, I grew up with this guy, like, you might have heard about him. His name is Tony A. And I knew Tony A, but I've only heard him like a little bit, and that was the K-Day. And that same day, like I was driving home, I left his interview, I was driving home, and I heard that song, Not Your Puppet. I was like, and they mentioned Tony A. I was like, wait, he just said Tony A. It's like, nah, it can't be him. Because, here, like, hood rappers, like, you sometimes you take other people's names,
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, nah, it's not him. And then, like, he told me again, like, hey, look, these are the 2 people I recommend you. Because I asked him, if you have anybody that you want, like, recommend me, like, to be on the show, just send them to me. It's like, oh, here you go. And it was from I heard his music. It was like, oh, shit. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to ask. So I asked him, hey, I introduced myself. Like, this is what I do. I sent an episode. I don't think he heard it, but it's like, all right, yeah, like, for sure. But he was strict. An hour. Like, and then, like, he wanted to get in and get out. And I was like, cool. So it was tough because I didn't know, like, he seemed like a tough guy, but he was really,
he looks like a buff dude,
but he's not. Like, he's really cool, like, sweet, like, nice. But he just, like, that's his demeanor. That's the way he is,
Yeah.
But it was cool. I mean, I just asked, like that's all I do. Like, with you, like, I just asked. Like,
that was weird. That was weird. But it's like, I honestly felt like, I felt like you boosted my ego that night, because that night, like, I didn't do too well at the library. Well, not as well as I did before. Thank you. It's like I've done like way better at the library before that night, and that night was just kind of like a dull night to me. But then you like, hey, dude, I do a podcast. You want to come in? And I was like, holy fuck! I immediately texted Veronica, and I was just all like, babe, some dude wants to put me on his podcast.
Hey.
Like, holy you are now dating a fucking pro. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell me I gotta worry about shit no more. I'm paying for everything. And it's like,
I think I gave you like a
little Jason thing. I still have it by my TV, and like I sometimes I posted with it once.
Okay.
Like something about Skyrim, because it was like right by my TV when I was taking a picture. Fucking that shit. Like I always look at that shit and it makes me laugh.
And for some reason, I was like, man, I know he likes scary movies, so I'm gonna get him like a Funko, like a
There we go. Yeah, you were right, dude. You were fucking right on spot. And then now look, we are now the first episode, ladies and gentlemen. May I remind you of this? The very first official professional episode. I'm saying it so many times because last time we did this, it was cool, but it was on like my like little weird leather couch. It looked like 2 fat guys about to do a porno. Like it was weird. Now it looks like 2 fat guys really both bust up in the world, and like now they're like doing good. They don't do porn no more. They're now established. They have a heater, so they're not freezing out in the streets like how most people in high school predicted them would be. Karen, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
That's just to keep me from like climbing this table,
I know, right? This is just a barrier, or else things would get really greasy.
Well, actually, and I think your camera like turned off or something, right?
Yeah, that was the old camera. That wasn't with my phone. And apparently now, like, I don't know, babe, are we still rolling on my phone or no? Yeah, okay, we're still rolling on my phone. Good. So I just want to make sure. Yeah, there's always some sort of technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Always. But still, I mean, that adds to the fun, one more.
Later on in life, we're going to have, like, really professional audio sets. And it's going to be like this thing, like, water will not even destroy it. And that destroys everything. Like, this thing will never break. We get into that room, everything breaks. It's like, that's the bad luck we bring. But it's good. It's good. You know what I mean? It shows.
Like, it never floods.
Exactly. It's like when you see Johnny Depp with a pimple. It lets you know that, hey, we're human. Okay? Okay, folks? So back off. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure he does have pimples, but all those bracelets keep you staring at the
exactly. Like,
face,
if I were to meet him, I would just, like, if I would have been able to talk to him, I would look at his eyes for a little bit because they're so dreamy. I'd look at his goatee for a little bit because it's like, And then I would look at his bracelets the rest of the time, just counting them. Just one. Stop moving. Again. Alrighty. Well, it's almost time. We're going to wrap this up real quick. Angel M, I'm going to let you just kind of like promote your own self right now. Let these listeners know. They've heard me talk about you, but I probably didn't say too much. Is there anything else that you want these people to know? Look into the camera, let them know everything about you, well, we already kind of talked about you a little bit today, but anything we did not cover, I want you to cover it right now that you feel like needs to be said. Go.
So I'll tell you a little bit about my podcast. Right?
Yeah,
because I don't think we covered it that much.
I don't think so.
So my podcast, I get people that are following their dreams, basically. I interview musicians, artists, painters, small business owners just like you, and I give them a platform. Like you mentioned, and we both did stand up. We were doing stand up, and like I thought I wasn't giving it like a fair shot to promote myself or even to perform. So I figured, why not build my own platform and talk about myself, you know? Mm-hmm. And like, well, why not have people like you mentioned, like in the haunt community, they're like people that are working hard, but they're not giving the attention. So like you said, like I was raised in Wilmington, and I saw a lot of talent, people that I went to school with that they're following their dreams, but they weren't given a platform. So I figured, you know what, why not help them, help myself, and like we network, and hopefully we all of us come up together, you know? So that's how it started. And yeah, I mean, I'm on Spotify, on SoundCloud, everywhere. Pretty much, you just Google me. Like now, I say that just Google me, just Google the name, Let Me Know Pod, and like whatever pops up first, just click on it.
That's nice. That's when you know you made it big. When you can Google yourself and you're on the first page. Yeah. Like, have you ever heard of like people like Googling their names?
My girlfriend does that. She Googles my name, and she's like, "You know, you're the first one to pop up."
That is amazing.
Oh my!
I did that once, and it was like 2 or 3 pages deep. I was just like, "Damn."
Well, I mean, I can't help it. I just have that aura about me.
There we go. People want to see you on Google. Google saw you and was like, "That's front page shit right there. That's good right there."
But see, my podcast isn't, so I don't understand.
It's like, we like to look at him, but we don't want to hear him. I'm just kidding.
So all my pictures, like, they have a bunch of likes. I don't understand that, like, Google shit, because there's my pictures and my podcast. Mm-hmm. They're on different websites that I've never heard in my life.
Really?
And they're there. But I mean, I'm not gonna trip. I mean,
it's exposure right there.
Like, that's all I want. I mean, honestly, like, my thing is, I just want my guests to be successful. Like, like for me, like, I enjoy this. I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy talking to people, you know? And like, if I get to do it like for free for a while, then so be it. Because I like what I'm doing right now. Like, nice. I work at 9 to 5 and it's all sucking, and that's not what I want to do. So when I found about podcasting, I was able to do it. And then now that I'm finding that I'm okay, I'm decent at it, then I mean, even better.
You're really good at it, man. Yeah.
So like, I'm good. I mean, I'm nosy, but I'm kind of inquisitive, you know? And I get to be inquisitive, and I don't get hit. So there's nothing better than that, you know? Like,
exactly.
And then it's you're in my dojo, you're in my house. So literally, you're in my house. So
literally.
So like, I mean, you can't come disrespect me if it's my house, you know?
Exactly.
You know, like, you're coming to I don't know.
I'm seeing that Trello vibe now that people are getting from you. Okay, I see. There we go. I got a little scared right now. It's like wearing the wrong colors and shit like that.
Yeah, you gotta stay neutral, grays and whites.
I don't know. Something like that. Honestly, everything's like can be like led as something else. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't even know. I'm trying so hard to get out of the ghetto right now. It's like, oh my god.
But like that one time I went to your house, I was for parking, I almost got my shit stolen.
Dude, the face tat just was like, "No, you can't park here."
I was like, "What the? All right, cool. I ain't tripping." I just like, and there was a parking spot right in front of your house. I was like, "Okay, I just didn't. I don't like to parallel park. That's the thing."
I feel you. Yeah.
Like to park right in front of me, I would have to parallel park. I was like, there's like an empty like sidewalk. I was like, man, I'm just gonna park here, but I saw people just standing right there. Like, I was like, you know, I'm gonna ask first before I get my shit stolen. Hey, is it cool to park? Like, nah. I'm like, I don't know. So I just tried to make a U-way, just parallel park my ass. Like, fuck, I should just done this in the first place. Like, now I had like the whole time I had to, hey, Justin, walk with me, hold on.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Walk in front of me.
If I get jacked, you get jacked with me, man.
I push towards him and I run.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. All right, man, we're going to take a quick 5, and then we're going to give this guy a call, and let's get started. And to you guys, it'll be like a second, so don't worry about it. It's not too long. 5. Alrighty, so we're back now, and as you can tell, I changed the angle because I don't want you guys seeing my jelly rolls. That's right, I put on some weight. Fuck off. Anyway. Oh, by the way, have you guys noticed something else besides my obesity?
It's probably too dark.
It's probably too dark? Well, if you want to see where I got this amazing hat that you probably can't see, why don't you get a little bit closer into there?
Pretty much this. It's pretty much my hat.
We're gonna.
So maybe I should have plugged that when you asked me. My hats.
Exactly. We should have told you.
If you like the logos, I have hats and I have shirts. If you want to like support me,
Exactly.
Or support the podcast, support Justin over here. I'll give him like $1 or something. I'll overcharge you so I can pay him type of deal. Or I could just, or we could just keep it in house and not tell him, and I do whatever you guys want, you know.
Thanks, capitalism. That's how you do it. That's how you work it. Yeah. Anyways, so
yeah, I forgot, but I'm gonna put my hat on
because we both did not do our hair today. This is like the new thing, like the whole gentleman's cut, the undercut, or whatever you call it.
I need this.
You don't think you need that?
I mean, well, I'll put it on. You don't have to put it on that way. That way, like, since I know what's like, I see what's going on.
That's true.
And that way, like, if there's a problem,
that's cool. I'll wear them too. I want to look like you. You know what I mean? It's like,
all right, well, then I'll put some music.
There we go. Let's put some music on, and we'll get this thing going. Jealous. Anyways, boom, we got the music.
You have only 34 minutes.
3 or 4 minutes?
34.
34 minutes left. Okay, so if it goes any longer, folks, I'm being told by my professional camera woman, who's beautiful and the love of my life, that we only have 34 minutes to do this, and I'm wasting time right now, so let's go. So the rest of it's going to be an audio thing towards the end, but fuck it. Anyways, so we are getting ready to do this. We are getting ready to call Chris right now. He is from Melanie's a Macabre. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him, I think, on iTunes. Yes, you can find him on iTunes, and you can also just check out his website, link in the description. Make sure you go send him a message, let him know who sent you, and we'll be definitely getting ready to go. So let's do this. All right, I need you to unlock your phone. That's right, we were talking about this. He uses his finger thingy. Yeah, so if you want to steal his phone, you got to steal his finger. Yeah. And here we go. We are calling. Oh, there we go. Such good quality right here. Look at that.
Hope so.
Yep.
Maybe turn a little down.
How's it going, Chris? You are on right now at the very first episode of Haunt Talks. This is ScaredieCat Vasquez, your good friend right here. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing good, Justin. What's happening, buddy?
It's going good. It's going good. Are you ready to do this? We're already jumping in right now.
I'm ready.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm here with my co-host right now, Angel Lem from the Let Me Know podcast, and we're going to be asking you some questions, man. I love your music. Apparently, your music gave his girlfriend nightmares the other night.
Well, let me introduce myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me have my friend introduce himself real quick. There, go.
Hey, what's up? So my name's Angel. I'm his co-host. I'm done.
There we go.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah, you gave my girl nightmares, man. So you're doing great. You're doing a good job, then.
Thanks, man. I could barely hear you, but I'll make it. We'll make it work.
All right.
I can hear you in the background there.
No, you can't hear me because...
Oh, it's too far. Okay, yeah, we're doing it on speakerphone. We're going to get a little bit closer here, my friend. There we go. Anyways, so let's start off with the questions, man. How long have you been doing Melanie's a Macabre for?
How long have I been composing the music?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've actually... I've been a drummer, my whole life. And I've been in numerous bands since, I was a teenager. Everything from metal bands to doom bands to, I played just about every genre of music, and I've always kind of banged around like on a piano, and, I got really obsessed with horror movies, of course, at a very young age. And I started collecting, my favorite horror movies on vinyl when vinyl was really popular. It's making a comeback, but vinyl, I still have all my original vinyl from all, the classic, like Friday the 13th, and of course, John Carpenter, Halloween, The Fog, and I got really, I got obsessed with those soundtracks. To me, without those soundtracks, those horror movies, that's what they're all about, right? That's what creates the tension and the mood and everything. So, I always thought one day it'd be kind of fun if I could, do my own stuff. And so, I've been playing in bands, like I said, for my whole life, and just a couple of years ago, I kind of just wanted to take some time off from the band I was currently in. It was a doom metal band, which was awesome, called Hydra. And they're still going, and they're great friends of mine. But I just wanted to take some time out to kind of follow this dream of mine that I've been wanting to do. And I basically just started composing music a couple of years ago now. And I started with my first album, which is The Forgotten Cemetery. And I'm putting out my 6th album actually this September. So I've just been cranking out, while the ideas are there, I'm putting them down and digging it. And yeah, it's just fun, man. I'm just doing what I love to do. And it's fun to create this kind of music because, you know, there's such a big passion for this genre, and it's great to finally kind of create some music and contribute to it, you know, musically.
That's amazing, man. It's a lot of passion in that little speech right there, dude. That is awesome. So, like, okay, this new album you're coming out with, anything you can give us, like a little teaser, like not as far as like a preview of it, but like I understand your recent one that just came out, which is available, Fade to Black album, which is a really good album. I've been using it on my channel. And anything you want to tell us about the theme of this one? Because I remember you came out with The Circus and Forgotten Cemetery. Obviously, it's a cemetery. And then you got Fade to Black, which is like this industrial, kind of danceable type of stuff, dude. I fucking love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I basically, The Forgotten Cemetery was my first album. I've always had kind of like a creepy obsession with, like, you know, cemeteries are such a creepy but yet peaceful and beautiful place of rest, right? But because of movies like, you know, Phantasm and other movies, you know, it's made cemeteries like this creep factor. But I've always kind of been, like, you know, drawn to that kind of eerie, peaceful yet kind of frightening kind of aspect of a cemetery. So that's pretty much where I got the idea for The Forgotten Cemetery. And, you know, I made up a story basically about, you know, this cemetery in Ireland that no longer has people coming to it because the people who used to mourn the people buried there are no longer on the world, and in the world they're gone and they're moved on. So it's kind of like this lost place in time. Mm-hmm. And there are actually cemeteries like that that are really old that people don't even visit anymore. There's no more flowers in the vases, you know, on the graves. It's just like this lost, forgotten place, but everyone's forgotten about it except for the people who are still buried there, right? Mm-hmm. They remember. So I kind of did this creepy thing with that. And then I followed that album with Haunted Carnival Grounds. And my motivation for that was, if you know, saw the movie The Chernobyl Diaries.
Yeah.
That is in the Soviet Union, and there was a catastrophic nuclear power plant, you know, accident that made that whole area, you know, the nuclear the radiation. It's just crazy. And if you can even Google, there's pictures of, like, you know, that there was a huge, you know, carnival kind of thing they had there that they had to abandon it. I mean, the Ferris wheel, you can Google pictures. It was 1986 when this happened, but it's the pictures are just incredible. Yeah. And, you know, you see a Ferris wheel with like a tree growing out of it now. It's still standing. They haven't torn it down, but there's actually still radioactivity going on there.
Yeah, it's like a lot of high active.
The thought of like an abandoned carnival to me was just so creepy. It's like, why is it still there? And people who try to go there and stuff. So I put like a horror haunting aspect to it. So that was my second album. And then the third one I did, I called it Vampires because I have an obsession with vampires as well. And they're kind of lost souls, obviously. You know, to be immortal sounds amazing to some, but for others it's a curse. So it's kind of like a bittersweet thing, you know, for some vampires, as they say. So parts of it are really scary, and then parts that I do some really beautiful melodies. I mean, that's the thing about my music, and that's why I call it Melodies of the Macabre. It's got both of best worlds, I think. It's got the scary aspect, but they are melodies, and they can be beautiful, but they're haunting. That's what I want. I didn't want to just do CDs that are just all scary, and, you know, I wanted kind of both worlds because they could be either way. So that was that one. And then the fourth album I did was called The Catacombs, which is based on the Paris catacombs in Paris, which is really creepy. You can Google some amazing photos about that, and there's over 2 million or 6 million people buried underneath the ground in Paris. People would have no idea. That beautiful city, that 20 meters underneath the ground, there's 6 million people buried under there. And it's basically 200 miles of tunnels and quarries and things, and it's insane. And in the 50s, they opened up a section of it because a lot of it's, you know, not safe. But I think like a mile of it or so is actually open for tourism. But just, you know, the walls are lined with skulls and, you know, bones, and they made art out of it. It's just creepy. You know, they've done some horror movies, As Above, Far Below. They did a movie called Catacombs. It's just a creepy atmosphere. So I wrote that, and then I just did Fade to Black, and I wanted to show some diversity in my writing. I'm a big fan of industrial music. I love music, obviously, period. But I wanted to do a horror element combined with a dance groove. So it's kind of got both, and I'm trying to get that going with some DJs and trying to get some of that in the clubs, because I'm getting some really cool, feedback from that. People are liking it. They're bumping it in the car. They're bumping it. It's like, man, this is cool, but it's still got the horror element, but it's got the really fun dance group. And so, I'm rambling. To get to your original question, so my new album that I'm doing now is basically, I'm kind of obsessed with folklore too. Like, not every state and country, but we've got Bigfoot. Scotland has the Loch Ness monster. All these different myths, that go way back. I'm basically writing about the Jersey Devil.
Oh,
which
shit.
It's really creepy.
I've heard about that. It's like a horse or like something like that, yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge dense forest area in New Jersey called the Pine Barrens. And it's a pretty creepy legend from early 1700s that this woman, with her 13th child, which she pretty much damned and wanted, like, well, I might as well sell my soul and give this one to the devil. The legend is that this thing sprouted wings and flew up the chimney, killing a couple people, and people have seen it, and there's, like, sightings, just like you see the UFO sighting photos. There's people claim they've seen the Jersey Devil, and they actually made a movie about it a few years back, which is really good and creepy. Stephen Moyer, who was, like, the lead vampire from True Blood, is in it. And it's really cool. It's called Pine Barrens, but I just thought that was creepy, so I started writing that, and this one's pretty scary, and it's got some beautiful aspects as well to it. So that's where I'm at.
Nice. Are you from New Jersey, man?
No, I'm born and raised in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, cool. I was about to say, how them Devils doing, man? I'm a fucking big Devils fan, dude. I love that fucking team.
Yeah, well, that's where they got their name, obviously, the Jersey Devils.
Exactly,
I didn't know there was a myth behind it, but that's where they're from. But my girlfriend's actually from New Jersey. She grew up in those woods. She used to walk those woods with her sister. She said it's creepy.
I bet. Oh, my God. That's crazy. And how does the missus feel about, like, your music and everything like that? Does it scare her, too? Or is she, like, are you guys both really into it? Like a match made in a spooky heaven?
No, she tolerates me.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Yeah. I mean, I think you saw her at Spook Show. She was actually running my booth.
Yeah.
And no, she puts up with me, and my closet is getting. Obviously, I'm a big cosplayer too.
I've noticed that.
Up,
yeah.
And I'm telling her, hey, you got to start making some room for my costumes. Stop buying shoes and shit. So because I need to start putting my mask in there, and that didn't go over too well. But I've probably got about 25 full costumes now, and I just love going to these events. I love, the Monster Palooza and Spook Show and Midsummer Scream and, all these great shows to go out and just, people are so creative now with their costumes and stuff. It's just awesome to watch people. And I just love horror fans. They're just so dedicated. They are cool and down to earth. And, it's just great to be part of that.
It's like it's a real strange thing too. It's like they look scary and that they can do some harm, but when you start talking to them, you realize that they like volunteer at like pet hospitals and shit like that. It's like totally. And this guy looks like he just murdered like 5 people, and it's like, but really he's like just got done like helping a lady cross the street and shit like that. That's what I love about it. You know what I mean? And like in the haunt industry, it's like everyone's so fucking chill. Like when I met you and I met everyone else at Spook Show, what I've said before, it's like all you guys are like fucking awesome. And it was just like, dude, like didn't think it would be that way. Like, I never actually sat down and talked to people at the booths. I just go there, check it out. All right, peace out. But then actually sitting down talking to you guys, it was like really fucking awesome. Yeah. So how long have you?
It's harmless fun, It's just there's conventions for all different categories. Anime. There's Star Trek conventions, Star Wars conventions. I mean, it's just great when you go to a convention, no matter what it is, because you've got a like interest with thousands of people walking around, and everyone gets it. No one looks at you like, why are you wearing that, or why are you doing? Everyone's just like, wow, that's really cool, and it's really flattering, and people are just really down to earth and awesome. So that's why I love going to these conventions. I've met so many friends. I think my entire friend base is basically from going to conventions from all these years. It's just I've got so many amazing friends on Facebook. It's like going to a convention now. It's like a family reunion. It's like see everybody's like, hey, what's up? And all the vendors are awesome, and it's really great.
Nice, man. What was the first convention you ever did?
The first convention I went to, basically before Monster Palooza came out here, there was a Fangoria, the horror magazine, which was huge.
Mm-hmm.
They teamed up with a company called Creation Entertainment, and they did conventions, throughout the United States. And of course, the one here locally for me was the one they would do at Burbank. And that's where it kind of started. I mean, years ago. I mean, I didn't catch wind of this happening until seriously, 15 years ago. I'm like, what? There's a horror movie convention out here? I had no clue. And I went to my first one. Gosh, it was in the 90s. But just to hang out, and not many people were dressed up back then. It's obviously really caught on, and people are really showing the passion in it now. But to meet, wow, I could meet one of my favorite horror celebrities at this convention. These movies I've seen 1,000 times. It's like, wow, PJ Souls from Halloween's going to be here. It's like, oh my God, that was so cool. And now it's just, that's what they do now. They, all these different conventions get different guests at different times, and it's really cool. And I think these guests are really, down to earth, and they can't believe how loyal fans are after all these years for movies they filmed, 30 years ago, and more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so awesome about horror fans. We're very loyal, we're very dedicated, and it's part of our life growing up watching horror movies. And I've probably got about 1,000 horror movies on DVD in my room here.
Nice.
And they're all in alphabetical order. I think it's the first movie. Let's see, what do I got? Now it's Alien.
Okay.
Starts with Alien. And my last movie is Zombie Strippers.
There we go. That sounds interesting.
And everything in between.
Awesome.
Yeah, the convention scene is amazing. And I used to the first convention I went to, I dressed up, in one of my zombie get-ups, and it was just so cool to walk around and take photos with the horror celebrities. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. Can I take a photo with you? I'm like, of course.
Oh shit.
And it's grown. Now there's you go to Monster Palooza. I mean, there's hundreds of people dressed up, which is awesome. I didn't start it. I'm not saying, but it's just people say, wow, I could go to these conventions and dress up. It's like, hell yeah, it's awesome. That's what makes it so fun. And there's all these great makeup artists, doing all the makeup and the demos, and you're sitting there watching these people. They're so talented. Just awesome to watch these people do all the prosthetics and everything. So it's just fun. So looking forward to Midsummer Scream, which is the end of July. I believe it's 28th.
28th and 29th, man.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah,
dude.
Awesome. It is. I already got my tickets, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, Long Beach Convention Center is gonna be fun. So that's gonna be a great one. And then after that, I think there's Scare LA at the Los Angeles Convention Center, and then we get closer to Halloween, which I'm a scare actor for Reign of Terror Haunted House in Thousand Oaks. And if you haven't been to Reign of Terror, I highly, highly recommend it. It is amazing. It is 24,000 square feet with over 100 rooms, and it's unbelievable. I believe there's 8 different themes all in one. It's easy, like a flow. You go through the haunted house, and you can't believe you're inside, and it's like walking through, something through Disneyland or something. Only scary. I mean, the sets and the lighting and the animatronics, and they got a great cast of people, and the owners are great people. I'm so honored to be part of this haunted house. It's just amazing. It takes about almost 25, 30 minutes to walk through, and the price is really reasonable. It's only $20 to go through. So people they go and they walk through, and they come out sharing, and they get right back in line. And I see some people go 3-4 times a night just for under $100. And there's so much to see. The sets. You just, like I said, you can't believe you're inside of a building. It's just awesome. It goes from you're walking through like a mine shaft, and it's got that whole kind of feel. You walk up through where a bridge and it collapses, and it's just insane. Then you go through an asylum. You go through a zombie quarantine. You go through the backwoods, and you go through like a Victorian mansion kind of thing, and then you walk through like an alien, quarantine kind of thing. And there's a clown room, of course, the fun house, and it's like you get all these elements in one haunted house, and it's quite awesome. So we open, I don't know the date exactly, but usually we start the last Saturday of September, which I believe is the 29th this year. kind of a strip mall. There's a Gold's Gym, and they take over the top level of the gym, which is 24,000 square feet. So you can't see anything from the outside. So people don't know what to expect for the first time going through. But it's spectacular, and it's the most impressive haunted house I've seen.
All right, well, this is Angel. This co-host. Oh, this is Angel. I just want to make sure you're talking to it. All right. So I have a question for you, musically, who are some of your inspirations, when it comes to doing the songs for these different events or pretty much your albums.
What bands or stuff
composers, bands, artists.
Everything, dude. Honestly, being a musician, my whole life, I really appreciate all kinds of music. To me, there's a time and place for every genre. I like more than others, but I don't say, I don't listen to this, or, I hate, it just depends on my mood, I was a total metalhead growing up. Actually, Kiss is what made me become a drummer. Obviously, because of the theatrics, the makeup, and, the musician, playing, drums, oh my God, I want to wear makeup and play drums, and it's like Halloween meets music, that's what I got out of Kiss when I was 7 years old. So, I was a Kiss fan growing up. I loved all the metal bands and the rock bands, the whole classic era, everything from Zeppelin to Sabbath to, I liked everything. Queen, I loved all those bands. And, the first band I was ever in was actually a Zeppelin Rush cover band. And that was really fun. I was a teenager. And then from there, I've been in new wave bands, I've been in rock bands, I've done a couple cover bands, but I've been mainly in original bands. The last band I was in actually 2 bands ago, I was in a band called Mad Life, and they're still together, they're awesome, and they're an industrial band, and that was really fun playing with them. And then the last band I was in was called Yidra, Yidhra, and basically it's the name of Yidra is there's an author named H.P. Lovecraft, which is the Reanimator movies based on. He had a character in one of his books named Yidra, and Yidra is basically the dream witch. And she's kind of she's supposed to be this beautiful woman who lives in the forest, and everything's attracted to her, kind of like a Snow White. The animals love her, everything loves her, but when anything gets too close to her, she devours them, and then she can shift into anything that she's eaten. Kind of creepy.
That is.
So that's what Yidra meant, and that was a doom metal band, and they're still around, and that was really heavy. It was kind of people kind of compared us to a modern Sabbath, but it's slower and it's heavy and it's just really fun. And but all those different elements of all these different bands I like, and industrial, dance stuff, everything. I take a little bit of everything that I love and I try to create my own sound. So my influences it's just impossible to answer. Just like I said, it's everything that I've up to this point in my life musically that I've listened to. It's just I take a little bit of everything, and I get a certain vibe when I'm writing, and I just think of whatever comes to my mind, But it's just because of music. I love music so much, and I can even listen to classical. I love classical music, obviously, and there's parts of country that I like, elements. There's parts of death metal I like. There's parts of pop that I like. I like anything basically that's performed really well. Punk, all that stuff. So it's what makes the world go round. I'm not just one guy I just like rock. I hate all this other stuff. That's just jading yourself and living tunnel vision. I like to open my ears to whatever because there's just so many great stuff. So that's hopefully that kind of answered your question. But I just take a little bit of everything that I've loved and create my own stuff.
That's really good, man. That's really good. Let's talk about your times in bands, man. So how was it? How was it your first time ever performing live? Because we were talking about this earlier before we called you about our first, because we do stand-up comedy, so we understand, and I used to be in bands, so I understand having to go up on stage and it's really fucking nerve-wracking, especially as a comic because we're by ourselves. With you and your group, your band, do you feel it's more empowering because hey, I'm with my brothers, I'm with my homies, I'm with all these people, or do you still get that kind of nervousness as well too?
When I first started out, of course it's nerve-wracking for anybody, but I think it's more of an adrenaline, It's I felt, I guess I'm kind of hiding behind drums and cymbals, so I'm not the front guy, like out there, like on the
Okay.
spotlight. The drummers are kind of covered, but my rush is still to this day is I even it's been a couple of years since I've been in a band, but I miss that adrenaline of playing live. I mean, there's nothing better than being on stage and performing and like watching people, you're touching them like with your music, and they're getting it, and like to see people like fans who are like regulars, they're like mouthing the words, as a singer singing. It's like, oh my god, they know our song. That feeling is like amazing, and that will never cease in my heart and my mind. I miss that feeling of playing live. And like I said, I would be nervous, but it was more like I can't wait to get out there and fucking rip it up kind of feel. That's how I would feel when I would go out there. And the bands I've been in, we were well rehearsed, and we felt, hey, let's just do this and rock it. We're gonna do what we want. If people like us, if they hate us, fuck. What can you do? But that's just, we had fun, and that's all that mattered. And we believed in what we were doing, and it's fun. But I do miss that aspect of being in a band. Just playing live is awesome. There's nothing better than being on stage and performing in front of a group of people.
That is true, especially if it's going well too. Like no one's booing you and telling you to get off and shit like that. We've had those nights before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
But yeah,
So,
being a comedian, you're just out there by yourself. It's like there's all eyes are on you. I mean,
Exactly.
I can't imagine what that's like, but that's got to be an adrenaline rush too. If you're confident in what you do, you go out there and you freaking nail it. And there's going to be nights where people don't get your jokes, and then you can say those same jokes the next night, and the whole place is freaking crying. So it's laughter. So it's just, you can't give up. You just got to be confident no matter what you do, musically, comedic wise, anything. You just got to believe in yourself and just say, "Fuck, I'm doing this." And you're gonna have highs and lows to anything you do, but you just keep going.
amen to that shit, dude. That's awesome. So your time at Reign of Terror. So like, have you ever seen the Haunters Artist Scare documentary?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You know how they were talking about like people being punched and stuff like that, like pretty aggressive visitors.
Yeah.
Any stories like that?
Yeah. None of that happens at Reign of Terror. In fact, we can't touch you. Period.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, there's other haunts, and it's everyone's got their deal and their vibe. You don't have to sign a waiver.
Oh no, I mean like has a guest ever punched you?
What's that?
I meant to say, has a guest ever punched you? Like how they talk about like people getting so scared that they start abusing the monsters.
Yeah, I've had a couple incidences, not at Reign of Terror, but other haunts that I've worked at. I mean, there's always some goofball, fucking idiot, that's, you probably scared the shit out of him, and he's with his girlfriend, like on a first date or something, so he's got to act like Mr. Tough Macho guy, like you didn't scare me, but he probably soiled himself, so, he's got to react back by being a tough guy. Like, I've had a couple confrontations with people, and I've actually hit back.
Hey, you got to defend yourself, man. Shit.
If you're that stupid to just like attack one of us, you're paying to go to an attraction. You're here to get scared, and if you're going to take offense to that, if it actually affects you, you're just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And we work our ass off as a scare actor. It's like we want to be. That's why we're there. There's a rush for being on. It's all safe and fun, and there's nothing more cool and satisfying than scaring the crap out of people. It is so fun, and but like I said, it's a very small percentage of people that are idiots like that. A lot of people are drunk, a lot of people are wasted coming through these things, and it's just people sometimes don't mean to punch. I mean, we've had people. There was a girl who took one for the team, and she was amazing. She got punched. A girl got punched by a guy, and it was because the way he reacted. It's just like he scared the crap out of him. And he just kind of like, put his arm out, I guess, really tough, and he connected with her. But she didn't complain. She had a black eye, and she's a trooper, man. And that was Ashley, if you're listening. Ashley, you're awesome. But, yeah, it's just, like I said, but that's really rare when that happens. You just got to, the majority of people are just there to have a good time, and they come out very satisfied and cheering, and that's why I do it.
Oh, okay, that's good. And since you were already bringing up the whole waiver stuff and everything like that, you're saying that you don't work in haunts like that. Have you ever gone through any like 17th door at least, or a blackout experience?
I have quite a few friends who are involved with 17th door. I have not actually been through it. But it's their vibe is totally different than Reign of Terror. I mean, it's stupid to compare haunts because everyone, like I said, has their own backstory, which is awesome, and they each have their own vibe. And they're definitely more hardcore. I mean, whatever you want to define hardcore. I mean, you have to sign a waiver to do 17th door. They're definitely more in your face and stuff like that. But that's what people know that. They know that going there. They want that. People, there's people who come to Reign of Terror where it's just more about monsters and it's just different. Where they've got more like a backstory about a certain person, and you got to go through that, and you're watching like the different years of her life, and I heard it's awesome. I mean, I've got friends who work there, and I know people who are makeup artists there, and they do an amazing job. So, and then there's like McCaney Manor, which is like in that documentary, and that's like extreme haunt. It's just not my thing. I don't want to critique and say, yay or nay about it. It's just not my kind of thing. I mean, to me, that's too real. To be gagged and thrown in a coffin and like not let out. It's like a 4.5, 5 hour, 6 hour, experience. I mean, people come out of there, their lives are changed. You know? I just don't like. I'm claustrophobic. I mean, it's bad enough that I wear my costumes, but once I become that character, I am that character. But that's just putting on a mask. But to be shut and locked in a coffin for 40 minutes, it's almost like torture kind of stuff. That to me isn't Halloween. That's just people who are, I don't know, they're fucking nuts because they want to go through something like that. I don't know. I'd be shitting my pants doing something like that. I wouldn't put myself in that position. That's just not comfortable to me, and that's not scary fun. That's just like, why torture yourself? But some people, different folks, different strokes, right?
Amen to that. And I heard they shave your head there, and I work really hard on my hair, so I wouldn't risk losing that shit. But Russ himself, he's a really nice man. I actually met him at the first ever Midsummer Scream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really nice man.
Cool.
You would not expect him to be even associated with that.
Like the documentary, he's scared. He hates being scared.
Yeah.
You try to do any of those things to him, he's like, falling like a baby, like, don't do this, which is funny, but he's getting his kicks of watching other people get scared. So
yeah,
as long as no one's getting hurt, I guess it's all cool. But like I said, that's his vibe. Mm-hmm. And if people want to go to that, hey, that's amen to them. That's their choice.
That's true. He's such a good guy.
I'm not putting it down at all. It's a different thing, and that's what's cool is you've got all these different haunts. I worked for another haunt called Creep Los Angeles when they first started out a few years ago. Now they're going on, and those guys are awesome. I mean, they're all actors, and they put on a really cool event that's different than any of them. So everyone's got their own vibe. So there's so many choices, and that's why it's like I wish I could go to all these, but being a scare actor at a haunt, we're all open around the same time. So
exactly.
I can't, the weekends they're open is when I'm scaring at Reign of Terror. So I wish I could experience all these different haunts because they're just so cool,
That is true.
That's what's awesome about being in LA. You've got choices. They're everywhere.
That is true, man. Yeah, me and my lady try so hard to go to all the events. We actually almost did. We went to this underground. I don't know if you ever heard of them, Mabel's 6 Feet Under. Yeah, we went to there like I think like last year, and it was like I was terrified. The whole thing where you bring your girlfriend, you got to act brave. I don't follow that rule. She's the most brave one. I hide behind her, and it's amazing. And 4 years of hiding behind her every year, it's amazing. But they do an awesome show, and I like that they really make it into a real maze. We got lost literally inside there, and it took us a while to get out. It normally says about a 15-minute. We were there for 20 because for 5 minutes we were just like, where do we go? And I was too scared to go into one certain area, so I was like, oh shit. But
that seems like eternity when you're lost in the dark,
Exactly. Oh my god. Speaking of lost in the dark, are you planning on trying to at least attend Into the Black? I heard he's Larry Bones is doing some really good stuff this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed him right after I interviewed you, I believe, and he sounded really excited for this year. So I've never been to it. I've seen a lot of it, interviews and stuff like that, and other stuff he's put on the internet. but never actually been
Right.
inside. But it seems really scary being alone in the dark, and luckily it's not a hands-on thing, so it's just like a
Right.
walkthrough. Like, is that
Yeah.
something you would be interested in?
I mean, I would love to. I mean, I have a couple friends who did it last year. They actually were haunt actors for that, and they loved it. It's got great reviews, and Larry is. I don't know him personally, but he's an amazing makeup artist. Boneyard Effects is awesome, and he's got a great team of people, and he's got great ideas, and he's obviously very passionate, about Halloween. And he puts on a great thing. Like I said, there's so much going on. I just wish I could put myself into 20 people and go to all these haunts. I mean, I'm still yet to I've never even been to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, which is
Really?
unheard of. But it's, I mean, it's just I know how busy it gets, but I'd have to go on a night that's hopefully like a weeknight where we're not open and before it gets too crowded, because I'm just not a fan of waiting in line for 2.5 hours for a 5-minute maze. But I hear the mazes are amazing. But to go in mid October, you're lucky if you get 2-3 mazes in, and you spend so much money on a fast pass, which isn't so fast. And it's like it's just I don't have the patience to wait in line for that long. But the actors are awesome. Their sets are amazing. I mean, I see pictures. I'm like, I gotta go to this. The only thing I ever have time to go to is I love of course I love Not Scary Farm, because they open early. They open toward the end of September, and I usually go the first opening night they're open, because it's before we open at Reign of Terror. And I love Not Scary Farm. It's very fun, and I get my little vibe on. It's like it's kind of like my prep. It gets my adrenaline going. I can't fucking wait to scare after I go to something like that. And then we open usually like the next couple nights. So I'm going to try to venture out there and go to something if I can. I've never been to Queen Mary either. You can't believe that.
Oh,
I mean,
you need to come down here, man.
There's just so many haunts, and just too many haunts in too little time.
Like, you don't even have to go to Dark Harbor, but just come to the Queen Mary itself, and let me tell you, you'll see some spooky shit around there, man. They just they just opened up their haunted room. Yeah.
Places alone, it's just a history, and it's amazing. It's a great place to have a haunt. It's why it's so popular. It's so cool. I mean, I'm going to try to do something different, this year, before I get busy, and just to experience it. So.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, yeah. We're gonna wrap it up right now, but is there anything you want to tell these viewers right now that we were able to cover? Anything, like, this is your spotlight right now? Promote the fuck out of yourself, my brother. Go for it.
Well, if you're into creepy music, and like I said, it's haunting yet beautiful, but still has the creep factor, I would love for you to check out my website, which is melodiesofthemacabre.com. Macabre is a strange word. It's spelled M-A-C-A-B-R-E. Almost pronounce it like macabre, and you'll get it right. But melodiesofthemacabre.com. I've got, you can hear my songs, little snippets of it. I'm basically selling my albums, for $9.99 each. And, it's got my whole backstory on there in my bio. And I advise you to, when you go to my website, before you listen to any of my music, there's, on the menu, there's like the home page, and then there's I believe the second one, it says About. And I've got the 5 albums up there right now listed, and I have a backstory for each of them. I advise people to read the backstory first before you listen to the album, so that way you've kind of got a subliminal visual in your mind when you listen to my music. I've actually told people, if you're into it, read the backstory, light a couple candles, have a bottle of wine or a few beers, and turn off the lights, and just either with headphones or just crank it, and just close your eyes or whatever, and just listen to the music, and just take that backstory and try to put yourself in that position that you're there. And I think people really get it, because that's what's different with my music compared to film music. I mean, without having a visual, I have to do more of a song. That's why they're actual more melodies and just little snippets of for a movie. Is what I'm saying is film music. You've got a 30-second little piece, while people aren't talking in a car or something, or a scene that builds tension. For me to do that, I mean, without a visual, people would be like, what's this, But that's why they're a little more song-oriented. I've actually kind of write in a song kind of template. I mean, I have a beginning, an intro. I've got a verse, I've got like a chorus, and I repeat the verse. And not all songs are that I do, but they're structured, and because they're melodies. But then I do have some that are just kind of creepy and in your face, and it's like, I think it'd be ideal for haunts or parties or ambiance, or like I said, for people who just simply love the sounds of beautiful horror.
Awesome.
So melodiesofthemacabre.com. Go to it.
Definitely. You guys heard that. Go do it. And thank you so much, Chris, for being the first ever guest on this podcast, man. I wish nothing but the best for you, and I'll be talking to you soon, man. All right, take care.
All right, take care.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. Bye.
Take care, man. Thank you. Bye.
Pretty soon.
Alrighty. That was it. That was it, folks. That was the podcast. That was the first ever Haunt Talks. This is it, guys. This is the beginning of a great thing. This is the beginning of a chance for everyone out there in the haunt industry to come out and really rain hell upon this earth in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah.
Angel
I
M.
might go on a hunt pretty soon. I got kind of inspired. It just made me realize how unprepared I was for this interview.
Yeah, exactly,
I
right?
knew so much about it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to ask you. The only thing I can ask is about music. I know, like, I have an interest in music, and I heard this song. I was like, all right. And then everything that I was gonna ask him, he answered. Like, in the beginning, I was like, okay, well, there you go, Zach.
There we go. Yeah.
Like,
That's the one thing I love. I've talked to this guy several times, and he's like that. He just keeps rolling and rolling. And most people would find that annoying. I love that shit. I love when someone rants, because that's when you know that they're like speaking the truth, because it's just rolling off without having them think it. That's how you know it's straight up just coming from what they actually believe in. And this guy, like, again, ladies and gentlemen, please check him out. Let him into your ears and into your hearts like we did. And I will guarantee you that you will enjoy it. If you guys are working on a haunt, buy his album. You can use it. I use his music on all my videos as the background music, and it really makes a good vibe to it. I use it sometimes when I'm taking a bubble bath. I tried using it when I get romantic with my lady, but she's like, no. So there's a limit. But other than that, it's a really good fucking album, especially the Fade to Black. Those industrial fans out there, you want to dance and still be spooky, that's the best one right there, man. But Angel M, I just want to thank you so much for, again, you being my co-host on here.
Do anything,
you didn't have to. Your presence is gracious enough. You know what I mean?
If I was able to help, whatever, I guess.
You were able to do anything, man.
I guess I shined in the beginning, and then I just exploded where it actually mattered.
You are dynamite. That's why. Because you are the best. TNT.
See, yeah, there you go.
That's what you are.
That's AC/DC now. I want to make it related to Kiss, but I couldn't. So.
It's all cool. It's all cool. But anyways, thank you so much, Angel M. Thank you guys for listening. Again, this is the beginning. This is the start. We are going to do this, guys. Anyone in the haunt industry, anyone that's in the gothic artwork or anything like that, or you just like spooky shit, hit me up. We will talk. We will talk, and we will get you guys out there. I promise that this channel will be promoting everyone who is working hard at their business. This is it, guys. Have a good night.